Match that semi-final against Australia was, and now Harmanpreet Kaur's team is just one win away from creating history, from doing what no other women's team has managed to do so far. Let's now bring in our guests and our reporters in this conversation. Let's introduce to you all of my panelists right now. Rika Roy, of course, my colleague, is there in Navi Mumbai. She will be tracking the match for us and giving us a ball-by-ball update. Inakshi Rajvanshi, former cricket player from Karnataka. Thank you so much for joining us, Inakshi. We also have a professional cricketer and commentator Shailja Sundar. Atul Vasan, of course, is sitting with me right here in our studios. We also have Shishir Hatangri, former Mumbai cricket team captain. Welcome to all of you. And first, Rika, I want to come to you because all of us are envying your job today. You are the one who is going to see the match live. You are the one who is going to be in the perfect position to tell us really who is more nervous at the moment. Should it be hosts India or should it be South Africa?
Well, I would say that India will be more nervous because they are playing in front of, they are going to be playing in front of 34,000 plus people once again. And look, because this is a home World Cup, every time each of the players, they step out of their room, they are being reminded that this is your moment, this is your one final chance to create history. Be it the person who's in room service, to the bartender, to anyone they see, their friends and family, everyone literally is talking about it. Also, there has been a mad scramble for tickets. The ticketing partner, Book My Show, wasn't working for a very long time. We had friends and colleagues who bought tickets for 50,000 rupees each ticket to get to the final tomorrow, and that's quite a premium buy, I would say. And I don't even think that even in men's cricket tickets have been sold like this for a semi-final. So yes, it has really created that atmosphere of pressure on the Indian cricket team. For South Africa also, they are a team who hasn't won, so it'll be pressure on them to create history as well.
Right. Rika, stay with me. Atul, I want to bring in here because, the comparisons always happen between men's cricket and women's cricket, what the boys have been able to achieve so far. The girls are lagging in that department. But the point that Rika made just now, everyone from the hotel staff to the waiters that you go to restaurants in, everyone telling that, tomorrow you got to do it. Aaj aap jeet ke laana World Cup. That's a different feeling. That gives you a high, that lifts you up.
Well, you said they were lagging, and I think they were not lagging in the parity in the pay what they got eventually. And I've got divergent views about that.
But that has only recently come about.
But now this is the point. This is how you get people's attention. And now if this attention comes to you, you have to soak it in. You can't use it as an excuse, because men have been taking this and soaking it and still performing. And now if it comes to you, that means people are watching you. I think if you bring your eyeballs to yourself, then you all actually put your weight. But this kind of victory is one in a million. And I said that the other day. This Jemima's knock is almost at par with couples 175, and I think because Australia was a demon in this. They just dominated, and somebody dominating a sport like this is not good for the sport. And I think we have broken the barrier just because of the temperament shown. Look at this girl; she's such a petite girl, and she has not hit a single six, because I saw how Amanjot was hitting, and everybody is clearing the field. And this girl is just, and imagine 75% humidity. She ran 139 runs, 70 of her, and 69 of a partner in that heat. So that means she was in the zone.
And stayed
you could see that she
out.
didn't celebrate at 100 because she knew that it was because they have faltered many times at this stage, because they said, remember 2017, So they have snatched defeat from the jaws of victory too many times, and this was the time. And I thought also, I was one of the naysayers. I said, nahi hoga. Because हम देख चुके हैं कई बार ऐसा हो चुका है तो लगता है, but this time it was euphoric, and I think, but now they have to forget it, because this kind of adulation, they have to get over it, because battle is won, the war is still there.
Absolutely, and the big match tonight, of course, is going to be the big test of their grit and determination that they showed in the last match against Australia in the semi-finals. Shailja, if I can bring in you here, when we talk about a big final of an ICC tournament, the pressure obviously is going to be on both the camps, no doubt about it. But the factor that Rika was mentioning a short while ago, the crowd, the 35,000 people sitting in the stadium, that can be an added factor of pressure. Also, it can act as the 12th player for your team. Isn't that true?
Absolutely. Playing in India and going after the World Cup with so much of support, I would say, and also extreme pressure. All that said and done, I think both the teams will go with a lot of pressure, but then they would have to get into the focus about the game in particular. Although there will be a lot of outside noise, they can only start focusing on what they can do best at that particular day. And like you said, they would definitely take it as the 12th man, and the support, they love the support, and they will definitely take that in rather than taking it as a pressure.
Right. And in fact, I have a feeling that in the match against Australia, the semi-final, it was the crowd factor that really tilted the stakes in our favor at the end of the day. And definitely India deserved, on the basis of their performance, to be in the finals. Before I go to Shishir and Inakshi, I want to play out a few reactions from the crowds that we've managed to gather. Let's play out some vox pops, and then I'll take up more inputs from our panelists here.
सर, हम लोग कल भी सुबह आए थे। हम लोग को बोला गया था कि कल आओ 12 बजे के बाद मिलेगा, लेकिन हम लोग से 12 बजे से 9 बजे से या 8 बजे से आके यहाँ पे खड़े हुए हैं, लेकिन फिर भी सर अभी तक टिकट का कोई पता ही नहीं चल रहा कि कन्फर्म है कि नहीं है। ना ऑनलाइन भी कमिंग सून दिखा रहा है।
2 दिन से आ रहा हूँ बट टिकट नहीं मिल रहा है। कल मिलेगा।
आप लोगों ने ऑनलाइन क्यों नहीं ट्राई किया?
नहीं, मैं तो सुबह से 2 दिन से ट्राई कर रही हूँ ऑनलाइन, लेकिन अभी सुबह से ऑनलाइन खुल नहीं रहा है। अभी खड़े हैं यहाँ पे, सारे लोग खड़े, लेकिन कुछ मिल तो नहीं रहा है।
तो पहले ऑनलाइन क्यों नहीं लिया? ऑनलाइन नहीं खुल रहा है।
ऑनलाइन खुल नहीं रहा है, कमिंग सून करके आ रहा है।
अच्छा, इंडिया फाइनल पहुंची है इसलिए भीड़ है, नहीं दे रहे टिकट।
शायद वही होगा।
आप कब से? क्या नाम है आपका?
मेरा नाम पूर्वा है और मैं खुद क्रिकेटर हूँ।
अच्छा, तो टिकट नहीं मिल रही है?
टिकट भी नहीं मिल रही है, और ऑनलाइन बुक माई शो पे भी अनसोल्ड दिखा रहे, फिर टिकट अनसोल्ड दिखा रहे, तो टिकट किधर गए मतलब? और इधर आके भी बोल रहे टिकट्स मिलेगा, और इधर आके बोल रहे अनसोल्ड है, ऐसे बोल रहे। ऐसे क्रिकेटर के साथ भी हो रहा है, तो हम लोग कैसे उन लोग से इंस्पायर हो जाए?
Well, tickets are always a bit of a controversy whenever there's a big match here, but I'm sure the organizers will sort it out, because this is one clash that no one can afford to miss. And Shishir, if I can bring in you here, the fact that Atul was talking about a short while ago, that Jemima's 127 not out reminded us of that 175 from Kapil Paji back in 1983. So can we compare that a win here, the title here, the championship for the Indian team, can usher in the same sort of impetus for women's cricket in our country, the one that we got back in 1983 for men's cricket?
Oh yes, I think Atul makes he makes a very valid point about it. That 83 win for the Indian team actually changed the face of Indian cricket then. This win against Australia, who were touted as the invincibles in women's cricket, has certainly elevated Indian women's cricket to the next level now. Now, the most important thing is to put behind all the emotion, all the pressure and everything, and all the drama that happened after that win against Australia, just put it behind and focus on a new game, because both teams will be looking at what they can do. I mean, South Africa will be very clear that India had the rub of the green. There were catches dropped on both sides.
Yeah.
And, these things happen in a sport when things are going your way. You need that little bit of luck, which India had. Now, taking nothing away from Jemima's great performance, Harman's return to form, which is so important. She's a world-class player.
Yes.
And she's had quiet World Cup. So her return to form is very, very critical. Young Rawal, the opening batsman, getting unfit was a big blow to us, because she just got 100. So just about everything going India's way. Important to put everything behind you now, because you defeated a world invincible Australian team, and now it's for you to sort of just refocus. You're starting off all square against South Africa in the final, and they're a good side. I mean, we have to acknowledge that they play good cricket. So we'll have to hope that the luck goes our way, because we had a bit of luck in the last game. We are better, and tell you what, the confidence in the Indian team will be very high when you defeated a champion side It's only about that controlled confidence, not going overboard and expecting that things will happen your way. You could have a
Shishir, you
bad
make
day,
a
but it's
very
important to
important
keep your
point
nerve.
of that controlled confidence after a high of a semi-final win like the one we managed against Australia. Inakshi, for a player, you know, the time is very less when you have that space to celebrate one victory and prepare yourself mentally for the big clash which is going to come up. Because let's not forget that South Africa had an equally great game against England in their semi-final.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's always, when there's a semi-final, there's a lot of noise around, and specifically for a team like India and South Africa, like all of us just spoke. Like if it was Australia, they don't have that pressure because they don't have the pressure that they're gonna change something in the country. Like they're playing Women's Ashes since like 1940s and 50s. Nobody has even heard of Women's Ashes in like a South Africa or an India. So they wouldn't have that pressure. But for both India and South Africa, it's so much more. It's something that they could change. There could be a revolution in both of the countries. And for India, of course, given how the crowd is, it's a religion in India, cricket, right? And we shouldn't also, like, the fact that we have won a semi-final against Australia, but there were a lot of things that went wrong in the World Cup, not from the team's perspective, but from the organization perspectives. If we see, there was a lot of matches that were washed out. The match is not going to happen in a tier 1 stadium. It could have happened in Wankhede. We're doing it in DY Patil. None of the tier 1 stadiums. So my concern here is, if in case India cannot forget semi-final and cannot come out fresh, and in case they lose, I definitely hope and I definitely know they won't, but if there's like a 5% chance that they lose, things might snowball down again, because then again the misogynistic comments will start and people will, again, the 2017, the ghost of 2017 final, though I can still remember the photo of Julian Goswami resting on Mansi Joshi, and that photo has been iconic. So I'm just hoping that we don't overlook the things that have also gone wrong from a women's cricket perspective, not just team-wise, but also from like an organization perspective.
No, you're absolutely right. There are many slips between the cup and the lip, and we've been there before. We have not been able to do it so far. But Rika, talking about the stadium specifically, you know, I was reading an interesting statistic that this final is going to be the first time that the South Africa team is going to play at DY Patil, while India has had about 4 games here. So will that be one advantage for us?
That's true. You know, India has been here for a while now, and South Africa has just come in after the high-stake encounter in Guwahati. So it's the first match for them. Also, we'll really have to wait and see how they adjust to the humidity of Mumbai. I believe it was 75% on the night of the semi-final. So they really have to see how well they are able to adjust to the heat and humidity of Mumbai. That definitely is going to be an advantage for India. Look, South Africa also has some phenomenal performers. We were talking about all along, when will Marizanne Kapp come into the party, and you know, she did it at a moment when South Africa wanted her. And if you look at the records, she has phenomenal records against Preeti Mandana and Harmanpreet Kaur. And if you ask me, just as a cricket fan, that is the battle I am looking forward to watch. Cap versus Smriti Mandana and Cap versus Harmanpreet Kaur. But again, you know, it really all comes down to adjusting to heat and humidity.
Rika, what's great is that if Marizanne Kapp has come to party, so has Harmanpreet Kaur, and that's good news for us, because Atul, we were talking about the fact that the captain has been a little off color in this World Cup, but the 89 contribution coming at a crucial moment like the match against Australia was a big boost for her own confidence. How are you looking at her captaincy also? I want to understand from you. Some doubts being raised about her rotating the bowlers not in a very great way.
Well, she's reached the final, so I think we can lay this to rest now. I think, and she was bound to come good. We know the quality of Harmanpreet, and then I just rewind back to what happened with Virat Kohli before that final of T20, you know. So eventually, you know, Comet Dawar, Comet the man, and it was her knock. But even after she got out, you could see the Australians, you know, they thought now the game is over, because they have so often they have just managed to, you know, do this. But they were taken aback by the audacity of these other girls, you know. And this is the new India. This is just about temperament. The game was always there. But anybody who came, they always had a belief that they will do. And then it was so pleasurable and so satisfying to see Australia's meltdown when they drop the catches, because they have not been put in this situation very many times, and you could see that. So this is what happens. You could be as good, and this is if you think back with Alexander with Ottomans, or the Spartans with Persians, सवा लाख से एक लड़ा हूँ, चिड़िया से बाज जिताऊँ, तो वो वाली बात है. तो ये attitude जब तक, and before that, many girls maybe believe that okay, Australia 330, but before that, let's rewind. They could have got to 400. So the story started from how Sri Charni bowled. Renuka, nobody's mentioning them. They were the stars because this 40 runs they cut. So it was just manageable. Imagine they could have got to 400. Even 338 was, I think it was gonna. Yeah. But everybody came in, and the last 3 shots Amanjot played. I said, what is the big problem?
It's
she
the
just
belief,
came.
I think.
I think so. This is the attitude. This is the temperament.
Attitude, right.
And I think this is the shift. And these girls saw the men actually, achieve a lot because of this. The game is almost all over this world. You have always got a couple of exceptional players. You've named Madison Cap, you've Woolward and everybody. India has also got these players with a tremendous record. But it's the belief in the other team. If anybody is not on the same page and they don't have the game awareness at that point, and they don't come at same point at some point in the game, even two people have got this doubt, they will let you down.